Okay, I'm gonna run through a series of submissions from side control. All of them are gonna be using my opponent's lapel and my lapel. So, it's gonna be a whole series. So we're gonna start from side control. I have the head, I have the pommel, and my opponent is gonna manage to come in front of my face, or in front of my neck. He's on his way to escaping, so I'm gonna circumvent and attack this right here. So right here I wanna be tight, head down. I come to the lapel, palm of grip, I get to the end, stretch it, I come over the top, tying this off. When I tie it off, I come to the elbow, bring it in, bring him in nice and tight. I windshield wiper my leg side, coming to knee on stomach. My elbow remains on the ground. Here, usually your opponent's going to want to pull this out. So he's usually struggling to pull it out. I'll go ahead and loosen it and fill in that gap where he pulled his arm out. I come across the neck and execute a sort of an Ezekiel type choke. Right here, my wrist is gonna go down, so I'm not pulling with my arm. My elbow is gonna remain on the ground, and I make a little bit of distance. The more distance I make, the tighter the choke becomes. So I'm going down and making distance. So here, head control, I have the pommel. My opponent comes in front of my face. I'm gonna kill this off once again. Everything is done tight, head down. Killing off this grip, bringing it in. From here, if my opponent, he's not trying to pull this out, he's just remaining right here. When he does this, I can cup the elbow. It keeps everything tight. Once I cup the elbow, I'm going to switch my grip. So I was here, I come here. I'm going to go ahead, coming in front of his head, to his wrist. I'm going to lift, just a simple paintbrush. I'm going to bring his arm down, lift his elbow. Tap, shoulder lock. One more time. Once again, my opponent comes in front of my face. I'm staying tight, but he manages to get in front of my neck. Palm up grip, stretch. I tie it off, tie this off. This one, once again, I'm going to windshield wiper. Coming to this. Here, this leg, I want to keep this off his neck, so I can sort of just move it off his neck. I don't want him blocking his throat off. So here, step over, continue to roll. I let go of the lapel, lock the triangle, here, hips up, finish the triangle. So one more time. Now, sometimes if my opponent if he's able to manages to get the pommel, I have to execute this fast. I can't linger here because he's on his way out to escaping. All he has to do is start escaping, get off his back. He's well on his way out. So generally I'll tag it here, head down. Once again, stretching, getting the lapel. Pulling it nice and tight. I bring him up, nice and tight. I want his arm off the ground, keeping him tight, keeping shoulder pressure, looking away. So, basic choke, most basic choke, number one attack is gonna be here. Here, I wanna do this with my head down. I don't wanna be up here. When you're up here, he's just gonna start blocking you. And you're gonna wonder why this doesn't work. So here, down, in, coming around, north, south, up, driving my elbow to the ground, elbow to the ground. One more time. Once again, tight side control, dropping my head. Nice and lapel. On this one, all I want to do is I'm going to hook the arm, slip down to the end of his lapel here. So I was here nice and tight. I slipped down to the end of the lapel. Palm down grip. Hooking to the shoulder. This one, my elbow is on the ground, stays on the ground. My head comes to the ground. I step over. Get the choke. So one more time. Here, nice and tight. Shoulder pressure, keep him looking away. I get to the end, stretch it down, pass the lapel. On this one, I'm gonna come in. I'm trying to get the baseball bat choke. He's blocking my hand out. When he blocks my hand out, I go ahead and bypass this. Come into this grip, palm up grip, come to the cloth, coming across the throat. On the cross lapel, I bring myself down to my opponent, and my wrists do all the choking. It's not arms, wrists. One more time. Side control, opponent's looking away, shoulder pressure, nice and tight. Lapel, passing it over. Once I'm here, nice and tight. Going for the baseball bat, it's blocking me out. Bypass, palm up grip. I go for the cross lapel. He starts to block me out here. Take the elbow, push it down. Here, I just drop my shoulder pressure into his shoulder as I do this action with this hand. So I'm going this action with this hand with this grip. So I'm here, lots of pressure here. I can grip, and I just lean into him and get the choke. One more time. On this one, head control, got the pommel Same thing, head down, nice and tight. Stretching the gi. Passing it over. My elbow up, nice and tight. On this one here, he's my opponent's. He's not. He's avoiding. He's protecting his neck. On this one, I'm gonna come up. So I'm here. I come up. I step over. And as I do this, I'm already gonna start ripping this out. If it's in the gi, I'm gonna rip it out. I'm gonna come up north-south. I bring it underneath his arm. But as I'm here, I'm gonna switch my grips. So it has to be a fast switch. This hand is gonna switch over and switch over. So I've got a cross grip here. So I'm here. I'm gonna drop my knee here. I'm gonna drag him on top. With this lapel, I'm gonna pass it around his neck. And I can put the choke right here. On this one here, I'm moving away from his gi, but it works pretty well right in line with these attacks right here. Sometimes I fake my opponent out. He's blocking me from executing chokes with his gi, so I'm just going to switch up on it. So it's going to be here. Side control, flip his gi out, I'll bring it over. Him in nice and tight. So I'm trying to attack here, but he's giving me a hard time. He's blocking, he's bumping into me, whatever. I'm having a hard time. So what I want to do is go ahead, rip out my gi. You got to be nice and slick about this. I'm ripping out my gi, and all I'm going to do is let go of his gi. I have his gi for the control. I go ahead and I let go. Pass my gi over. It's a nice switch. Just pass the gi over. My hand is on this side already. I'm blocking out his hips, so he can't turn into me. And I start to go north-south. I get up on my toes. I drive my head to the mat, and I do the same action with my wrist, and I get the choke.